March 2025, Phoenix, Arizona. It started with what looked like a simple narcotics raid. Agents expected bricks of fentanyl. Instead, they found servers, data trails, banking codes, offshore transfers. It was a blueprint of a billion-dollar laundering empire. The DEA realized they weren't just chasing drugs anymore. They were chasing data. And at the center of it all, one code name, El Fantasma, the Ghost. El Fantasma wasn't Sicario. He didn't carry a gun. He carried a laptop. He was the architect of the Sinaloa Cartel's new era, the digital empire. No one had ever seen his face. No one knew his name. But everyone, from Mexico City to Zurich, knew his signature, a perfect triangle watermark hidden in every transaction. For months, agents chased fragments of this digital ghost. And then one day he made a mistake. A voice intercepted in a safe house in Madrid. Male, calm, educated, speaking Spanish with a European accent. Send it through Dubai. The Americans won't see it. The DEA traced the call. It wasn't from a trafficker. It came from an office tower registered to a Swiss banking consultancy. That's when they realized the Sinaloa Cartel had moved beyond Mexico. They had become a multinational corporation of crime. In Washington, D.C., the DEA convened an emergency summit. Intelligence teams from 7 countries gathered in a sealed room. The plan: cut off every artery of cartel money. The operation was codenamed Black Veil, a shadow war, fought not with bullets, but with servers, spies, and silence. The mission would expose bankers, politicians, and corporations, anyone with blood money in their accounts. But no one knew that one of those names belonged to someone inside their own walls, a traitor embedded in the task force itself. April 2025, a DEA convoy near Hermosillo was ambushed. 2 agents dead, 2 missing. The cartel knew their route, their timing, even their extraction plan. It was an inside leak. Someone had sold their lives for cash. And when Internal Affairs traced the comms log, the IP led straight back to DC. Someone in the agency was playing for the other side. They called him Raven, a mid-level intelligence analyst. Quiet, efficient, trusted. He handled encrypted files for the task force, and he was selling intel to El Fantasma. For 3 years, Raven fed the cartel inside information, arrest plans, surveillance data, agent names. And when they finally tracked him, he was gone, vanished, but not before leaving behind one message: you can't stop what you don't understand. The DEA turned to their last resort: psychological warfare. They planted false leads, created fake bank trails, and waited. Within days, El Fantasma took the bait, moving millions into a honeypot account. It was enough to expose his network. Agents hit 27 cities in one night: Madrid, Dubai, Bogota, Los Angeles. Over 200 arrests, dozens of high-value targets. But El Fantasma was still out there. In a decrypted photo, they finally saw him, a man in his late 40s, clean-cut, wearing a tailored suit, a financial advisor in Geneva. His real name, Adrian Velasco. He had been laundering cartel money for 12 years under protection of European regulators. When the DEA went after him, he fled to a safe house in Tijuana. They thought they had him cornered. But Velasco wasn't done. Hours before his capture, a video surfaced online. Velasco staring into the camera, calm, defiant. You think we're criminals, but we are the system you built. You created demand. You created dependency. I just gave you what you wanted. Then he smiled, and the screen went dark. Minutes later, his safe house exploded. No body was found. The operation crippled Sinaloa's network, but not its soul. Within months, new players rose. Younger, smarter, digital. The DEA won the battle, but the war had evolved. Today, Operation Black Veil remains classified, but those who worked it still receive threats, and some still vanish without trace. Because in this war, the enemy doesn't sleep. It logs in. Subscribe to Inside Criminals' Minds as we explore the psychology of crime, power and the networks that thrive in darkness.